All right. Welcome back to another video. Yeah, um, this week it's gonna be probably a shorter one since, yeah, nothing is really going down this week. It's just another week of mostly work. Yeah, probably next week I need to start doing some university stuff again. But yeah, not this week. Yeah, instead I wanted to take this chance basically and talk a little bit about myself, my aspirations, my goals, and then some thoughts that I had connected to that, which I've been thinking a lot about over the last couple of days and weeks. And since this is like a documentation, I thought it would be like the perfect opportunity to share this, and also then in a year or so look back at it and see if I still kind of have the same opinion or if my experience have altered this. So yeah, but now we're gonna start with breakfast, and then I'm just gonna take you guys through my day. Yeah, let's go. All right, so guys, just finished up with breakfast, and yeah, switch it up a little bit now because I really want to improve my nutrition. Yeah, and also it's also a lot of fun, and it is a big event for me because I pretty much ate the same thing for like the last 3 years. So some variation is definitely welcome. But yeah, to kind of start this video off, what I want to talk about is living a life worth living. And I think on that note, what will be important to know is, like, what are my goals? Like, what do I aspire to do in my life? And the thing for that is, of course, I want to have like monetary success. So, build a great company. But even more than that, I want to do something meaningful, like have an impact. Like, I wouldn't want to do something that doesn't have like a positive impact on people, So that is definitely something that is very, very important to me. And I think like with Evoke, our goal is, of course, to, make great products, but also to, really help people like achieving their goals, like I want to create something that inspires, that motivates, not just that is like a way for people to get certain products. It should be something more, and I want to have that in like every aspects of my life, to have like a positive impact. That's like my absolute dream and goal. Just to create something that people can benefit from, I think is just really, really cool, and something that I hopefully achieve in my life. And I want to base my life around that. Like do something meaningful, create something meaningful, and help other people. That's the goal. Yeah. But in order to do that, we do have a long way ahead of us. And now I'm going to go to the office to, work with Justin. And hopefully have a very productive day. So let's go. finished up a nice, slow, productive day of work. Yeah, today was definitely really good. Yeah, now to get down to it. Why do I think that it is important to live a life worth living? Well, it's gonna get really philosophical now, but I thought about this actually for quite a while, and like a quote that really resonated with me is, every human has two lives, and the second one starts when he realizes that he only has one. And I think this really highlights how finite life is and that you only have really one shot at this. And once your like 80 years are over, then at least from what I know or can say for sure, it's done, it's over. So I think the best thing you can do is use this precious and finite time as best as possible and make the most out of it. Like, that just seems completely reasonable, right? So I think it is really important to spend your time doing things that you really want to do, and also look ahead into the future and think about what you want to do for the rest of your life, Because I feel like a lot of people my age, they think about what they want to do in their 20s, have fun and everything. And I think that's totally reasonable. And I mean, yeah, nothing wrong with that. But I also think that you should maybe try to look a little bit further ahead. What do you want to do when you're 30, when you're 40? Like, you will probably spend the most of your life working. So why not try to choose as best as possible what you want to do, and do something that you genuinely enjoy and that you have fun with. And yeah, I mean, these are my thoughts. I mean, I'm 22 years old, like what do I know about life? But just some thoughts on that. And yeah, so I think it is very, very important to be careful when it comes to your life's decisions and what you want to do and how you want to spend your life. Because I think the best thing you can do is just enjoy it to a point where you're really happy with what you have, and or at least if it's not good right now, at least you're happy with the direction you're going in. So yeah, that's why I think it is very, very important to live a life worth living. Now on that note, I'm just gonna relax for a little bit and then probably go to sleep. Yeah, so let's call it a day here and do something a little bit more relaxing. So yeah, guys, about to go to sleep. But before we do that, one last final thought for the day. Because usually, pretty much the things that I share are mostly about like the productive things that I do, and then some lifestyle stuff and some enjoyment as well. But now I wanted to talk like, how does productivity fit into the equation, right? Because if you're like, well, live the life you want to live, what about productivity and progress and everything else? And I think the goal here is to make productivity more like a long-term thought. So I actually kind of took this idea from training, because I once heard that like the best training or the best diet is the one that you can stick to the longest, like find something that you can sustain for over a long period of time, because that is ultimately going to be the best for you, because you don't need like rest periods, there's like no time where you like go back to old habits. And I do kind of think similar about productivity, like find things or regulate it in a way where you think that you can have like the highest output possible for the longest amount of time. And if that means that, like you watch, I don't know, at the end of the day, you watch an episode on Netflix or you do something else, whatever it is that may be unproductive, I don't think that that's necessarily a problem or that's bad or anything like that. I think if that ultimately makes you more productive long term, then I think that that's totally fine, and that's a productive thing to do, because if it's good for you, then it's also good for your productivity. Yeah. So much about that. Yeah. No, I think that's all. Yeah. Now we're gonna go to sleep. I'm definitely very, very tired. So yeah, let's do that. All right, guys. So a nice little morning walk right now, and yeah, last point of my video that I wanted to talk about, and I think this might be like the most important actually. Yeah, the reason for that being, that beforehand, like living a life worth living can also be understood as, just doing the things that you want to do, and just don't do anything difficult, because those might not be, just enjoy life to the fullest. And while I think that is true, I also want to bring in the topic of delayed gratification, which I think is really, really important to, get like the bigger picture. Because of course there are sometimes events or things in our lives that we necessarily don't really want to do, but we still have to do them to get the bigger or better outcome at a later point in time. And oftentimes that is a little bit more difficult. I think like a really good example that probably a lot of us can understand is with studying. So studying is never really fun, right? Like you would always want to go to the lake with your friends, or just do something fun with your friends instead, right? Play video games, whatever it may be. And the thing is though that ultimately in the end, like looking forward maybe 10 years, we will probably be more grateful to have a degree in our hand than to have gone out with our friends one more time. So I do think that in order to live a very happy and a very fulfilled life, you need to find the balance between enjoying things and then also doing the things you need to do in order to get to where you want to go ultimately. Yeah, I think that is a very important balance that needs to be found. But if you do that, I think then it's very feasible and possible, at least I believe so, to live a very, very fulfilled, balanced, and happy life. Yeah, I might change my opinion on that. I don't know. I don't think that I have the experience yet completely to, like look back on it and say like, all right, like this is how it happened to me. That's how I would do it if I would have the chance again. But nevertheless, I think that my thoughts have are pretty well thought out. So yeah. But now I hope you guys enjoyed the video again, and we'll see you next week. And until then, thanks for watching.